Well, we are back in our hometown, back at our block and our shed. It's the 27th of November, so just before December. We're home a little bit earlier than we planned. We'd always planned on trying to be home for Christmas to spend time with family, let the kids see their aunts and cousins and nans and pops and things, so we'd always planned on being home anyway. But why are we home early? No, nothing went wrong, fortunately, which is very surprising for us. Seems to be a bit of a theme that we have. But the reason we are home early, two reasons. One is we have picked up this big black unit behind us. So we bought a 2019 Dodge Ram, not Dodge anymore, Ram 1500. Nothing wrong with the Land Cruiser, absolutely love the vehicle, and it's done a superb job for the last 6 months towing our big van around. Reason for upgrade, basically I've always missed my ute setup. We want to get into, because we have such a big van, we want the option of being able to have a bit more of a camping setup where we can leave the van somewhere, go and do a night or two without it. So we needed more storage essentially. These have got a huge tray with a GVM upgrade and an rear axle load upgrade. They have a better towing capacity and are going to suit what we want to do better. Land Cruiser is getting a few Ks on it now. It's given me 5 years of complete trouble-free driving. So apart from a alternator, which you would have saw in previous videos, but with the amount of Ks on it, that's certainly not going to hold that against the car. So yeah, it's just time to move that vehicle on and go to something that suits us for this next part of the trip. So coming up, we will be able to give you a bit of an insight and some comparison between what we like about the Ram, what we liked about the Cruiser, the differences in fuel economy, power, towing, all that sort of stuff. It is booked in for a GVM upgrade and a rear axle load upgrade, which they need, so I'll talk you through that a bit later on. So don't worry if you're liking the travel videos. We do still have plenty of content coming up, so our videos are a little bit behind because we can't keep up with just one video a week, so we will still have lots of travel content. We've got Broken Hill, Tibooburra, Cameron's Corner, lots and lots of content. Murray River, Wagga Wagga, Dubbo Zoo, heaps of stuff coming up, so make sure you stay tuned for that if you're liking our travelling content. We're also, once we get through all that, we'll be starting a build series on this vehicle, and I'll be showing you exactly what I'm going to do to that. So I'll give you a quick run through of the car, and once we've done that, I'll show you the second reason why we had to come home a bit earlier and introduce you to our newest family member that's going to be travelling with us next year. Alrighty, really quick run through. I'm obviously going to go through all this in more detail when we start the build series, but 2019 Ram 1500 5.7 Hemi V8. Immaculate one owner vehicle. Very happy with it. It was a builder's vehicle. Oh, well, he was a builder, but he was the owner of the company, so he wasn't on the tools getting dirty every day, as you can tell. Didn't ever have any kids in the back of it, so it's never had a mark from a car seat. It's never had any food spilled in it. Very meticulously looked after, which I love. Did not want a black one. Coming from a black vehicle, I swore I'd never have another one, but it's just how it happens. We looked at a lot of different second-hand cars, and the one with the tray and canopy setup that I wanted in my price range happened to be black. So what have we done to it already? I've already swapped the driving lights with the Land Cruiser. So I've put the bigger blacked out steady lights, which I like the look of better on the big car. Pulled the aerial out of the Land Cruiser as well. We're going to keep that in the UHF. So I just made a little bracket to bolt under the driving light there. I like the position of that there. And it also means that from inside the cab, I now have a visual reference of where the front of the car is a little bit better. One negative of this car so far is that the driver's seat sits quite low. So I'm quite tall, so it's not too much of an issue, but yeah, Jess does struggle a little bit. The other issue is how much these wiper blades kick up. So there was no sort of reason that I can see why they couldn't have been a lot lower on the windscreen. And having that sit up there, it feels like you look through the wiper blade rather than looking over the top of it when you're a bit shorter. So yeah, that'll be one negative. Vehicle already has a mobile booster, the Sulfy Go signal booster. I'll just show you where we mounted the UHF. The LexRS unit neatly in there. We are going to get this engineered when the GVM's done at the same time, so it can be a 6th seat. which is handy when we have 3 kids. So it'll mean we can, yeah, take someone with us if we have to, or yeah, if we happen to be at a nephew's soccer game or something, we can take them home for the weekend. It's just going to give us that flexibility that we haven't previously had. The head unit is rubbish, tiny little thing. The reverse camera might as well not be there. So I've already ordered a replacement unit, which is a full fascia unit. It's going to replace all this with a big 9-inch screen, touch screen, maps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all that good stuff. So that'll be a massive upgrade. In the back, biggest thing with the Rams, dual cab, and they are still a 2100 long tray, and that's internal with this one. So already got my fishing rod holders mounted up there. It already had the lights built in from the previous owner. The previous owner has towed a caravan with it, so it's a little bit set up for what we want to do. Already has the slimline battery here, outlets for fridges, whatever else you want to run, Anderson plugs, which are great, dual battery meters, a red arc 1000 watt inverter. It also has power points already set up, the 12 volt charger, and a red arc DC-DC. A couple of things which I've had on previous ute setups. You can plug an extension lead in here and that'll run the fridge and everything in the canopy, so you don't get a flat battery, and also means you don't have to have a lead sticking in and having the door open, so you can lock and secure the vehicle. Solar input, toolboxes absolutely everywhere. It also has a full length trundle drawer, which is again 2100 long, full out the back. So yeah, I've got some pretty big ideas with this one, so having this much space is going to be great. With my previous setups, I do love to have a really neat setup where everything has its place, everything just works, everything's neat and tidy, looks great. But my downside is that every setup I've had, I've used every little inch of space for something. And the flip side of that is that while I have everything I need to go camping, if I need to pick something up from in town, or the kids want to take their push bike to the park, or even chuck a scooter in, I've got no room for anything. So the sheer amount of space, so I'm going to put a divider right down the center out of signboard, and this side will be a kitchen camping setup. The other side is going to be complete open storage, so I can shove stuff in whatever and wherever I want. So yeah, this is what we're going to be chucking in it. This is the general plan. 80 litre upright fridge this time. Went that way because it's a little bit bigger fridge space. Yes, you have to pack it a bit differently, but we'll get used to that. Also has a freezer, so the kids can have Zupa Dupas on hot days. We can have some ice cubes for drinks, that sort of thing. The other reason I went with this one is because it has temperature controls that you can set individually for the fridge and the freezer. So you're not going to have any issues with your freezer being too cold, your fridge not being quite cold enough, wasting power, all that sort of thing. So, stand up fridge, pull out pantry drawer or pantry. I'm going to put the travel buddy back in from the old car, and we're going to use these Smicko little Roadrunner brackets. So they clip on either side with a brace right across the top, and the holes are in the right spot to suit the internal supports on the canopies. So that's going to be a really neat setup. 2 single XTM drawers, and we're going to get some tabletop ideas to put in there, so you'll see what I mean about that a bit later. We've got the fold down ladder so we can access stuff on the top really easily. I kept the 270 degree awning off the Land Cruiser. Did contemplate buying a new one, but a full freestanding one, but this one's still very quick to set up, and I like the fact I've already got the full tapered zipped walls for that one, so I can make it a fully enclosed in area if the weather's really bad. Shovel holder off the Cruiser, I've kept that as well. The shower tent that we took off the Land Cruiser to save weight before we went away, we've now chucked that back on. So we're going to have a really good setup. So all of that has to go in there. So through the magic of editing, so that's only sitting in there for a mock-up, but gives you an idea of what I'm thinking. Oven's going to sit up there. Kept the fridge as far forward as possible, so all the weights from the fridge is going to be there. The drawers are only going to be light sort of stuff anyway. I'm only going to have sort of like cutlery and pots and pans and things in there. Pantry. these will pull out, and then I've got a XTM drawer which is going to sit on there, so you can work there, or it clips on the end and you get that space a bit further out from the car if you want to cook and not get fat all over everything. I did turn the door around on the fridge so it opens that way, which made more sense. So we were originally looking at doing this configuration because we were worried that stacking the drawers, by the time we got the lift in the vehicle, it was going to make it too high to see what's in the top drawer. However, I do believe we will go with this configuration just to save a bit of space. Now, the other reason that we had to come home early, which I did touch on, is for this little dude. So this is our newest member of the family, Turbo. Here, Turbo. He is a 12-week-old blue French Bulldog. And a very, very cool dude. Isn't you, mate? So he's going to be one sport little pup that's going to be coming travelling with us. He's a good size for travelling. Mackenzie decided to call him Turbo, which I think suits him really well because he gets the zoomies and flies around everywhere and then falls in a heap. So you're useless until the boost comes on, aren't you, mate? Super cool dude. And been a great little puppy so far, haven't you, mate? So yeah, so coming up we're going to have a lot more travel videos, a lot more build series, and more of this little guy. If you're liking our videos, guys, please give it a like, throw us a comment down in the comment sections, and consider subscribing. It does help our channel greatly, and we'd love to grow this channel and continue to bring our travels to you in the new year.